سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره. I congratulate you for the birth anniversary of Imam Mahdi, Ajal Allah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. And one of the best places to celebrate the birth of Imam is in Hawza, because in a special sense, Hawzas belong to Imam Mahdi, Ajal Allah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. So, what I thought to share with you is a kind of brief introduction to one of the du'as that we are recommended to recite for Imam alayhi salam. But before I start, I should make maybe 2 points clear. One is that sometimes we think our responsibility towards Imam is mostly to prepare for his coming, and then, of course, when he comes, we would have different tasks. But right now, what we can do is just to prepare for his coming. But this is not sufficient and adequate. For sure, we have to prepare for his coming, but we have lots of things to do right now in relation to Imam alayhi salam. In addition to adding to our ma'rifah towards Imam alayhi salam, adding to our devotion to Imam alayhi salam, we should also help him right now. And in a particular way, we have to pray for him. Not only pray for his faraj, pray for his well-being and for his health and protection right now. So, inshallah, when he comes, what we are supposed to do, that's another thing. But even right now, we should have this deep sense of responsibility to help Imam with our spiritual connection and with our prayers. So I move on to the second point, and that is, we should not think just because Allah has promised to keep him alive till Faraj happens, because that is a guaranteed promise. And Allah has mentioned this in different books, that the world would not finish without establishment of that government of universal justice and brotherhood and honor and dignity, and certainly Imam Mahdi is going to be alive to establish that. We should not interpret as also every aspect of his life is directly and miraculously protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that, for example, he does not become ill, because Allah has guaranteed his life. Or he would not be troubled by bad people, because Allah has guaranteed his life. The magic of magicians, for example, or the plots of jealous people would not affect him. Or, na'udhu billah, our bad actions would not terribly affect him. So his life is guaranteed to be protected, but his well-being, whether it be physical or mental, spiritual, everything needs care. And part of it is we should help with our du'as. So I will inshallah come back to this if I get chance. But before anything, I want to start with this du'a. You have in Mafatihul Janan, and of course, this is what Sheikh Abbas Qumi quotes from Misbah of Sheikh Tusi, that Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, those who studied Usul, you remember we had this in the discussion about Khabar Wahid, that one of the hadiths that we use to argue that we can refer to reliable people is this hadith, that the person asks, Afa Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman thiqatun akhudhu anhu ma'alim dini. So the same Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, who is a reliable person, he says that Imam Raza alayhi salam used to recommend to be reciting this dua for Imam Mahdi ajalallahu ta'ala faqih sharif. So few generations before Imam was born, Imam Raza recommended the Shia to pray, because the prayer is not wasted. If you pray, for example, for your grandchild that you have not yet been given, your du'as still are important and will be saved for the right time. So dua is not going to be wasted at all. So from now you can pray for generations to come in future. So this is the dua that Imam Raza alayhi salam taught, and Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman is narrating. It starts with this, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma adfa' an waliyyika wa khalifatika wa hujjatika ala khalqik wa lisanika al-mu'abbir ank الناطق بحكمتك وعينك الناظرة بإذنك وشاهدك على عبادك. This is a dua, but at the same time it's a course on knowing an Imam, as we call him, Imam Shanasi. So Imam Raza says you should pray in this way: Oh Allah, please keep away and remove. The object is not mentioned. It means anything bad, any either plots, any attacks, any magic, anything which would be bad. Please remove from Imam, keep away from Imam. But Imam is described in this way. An waliyyaka. Imam is the wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who has authority on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to exercise leadership, to command, to prohibit. So everything that a guardian on behalf of Allah needs to have, he has. Plus wa khalifatika. So these are concepts that we use to refer to the Hujjah of Allah. One is he is wali, coming from wilayah. One is hujjah. One is khalifa. Khalifatika wa hujjatika ala khalqik. Khalifatika goes to the discussion that we have about khilafah in some aqaid. Of course, we had this discussion. Goes back to the conversation between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the angels. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. And as our ulama say, angels understood very well that this is not one-off appointment. This is something which is going to be continued. If it was just Adam being appointed once and forever, then there was no need to ask question. They knew that this is going to be continued. And right now, the one who is Khalifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Imam Mahdi al-Jallallah ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif. So, an waliyyaka wa khalifatika wa hujjatika ala khalqik. So, not only he has the role of being vicegerent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he is also hujjah of Allah. It means that through him we can understand the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we have in Ziyarat al-Yasin, Assalamu alayka ya hujjat Allah wa dalila iradatihi. Hujjah of Allah is the dalil for irada of Allah, is the sign for understanding the will of God. If you want to know today what Imam wants from you, okay, then you have to understand many things. And I don't want to go into that discussion. But if you manage to understand what Imam wants from you, you understand what Allah wants from you. Because irada of Imam represents irada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is hujjah of Allah. How we understand irada of Imam? Of course, we refer to our ulama, marajir, leaders. There are lots of things. But basically, to know the will of Imam shows the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلِسَانِكَ الْمُعَبِّرِ عَنْكَ. Imam also speaks on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is like a tongue. Of course, Allah doesn't have physical tongue. And it means that Imam alayhi salam speaks the will of God to us. Imam tells us what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants or what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want. So he speaks and conveys to us the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not by revelation. There is no new revelation coming. There is no new book coming. But Imam, through inspiration and direct knowledge, he receives so much of knowledge that he can speak on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَيْنِكَ النَّاظِرَةِ. Not only he is your tongue who explains to people what you want, he is also your eye. النَّاظِرَةِ بِإِذْنِكَ. The one that with your permission. So this shows that this type of vision is a special. Whenever something like bi'idhnik comes, like Quran when it talks about miracles of Isa alayhi salam, or for example take people from darkness to light bi'idhnik. There are cases in the Quran, if you study, when bi'idhn comes, normally is something extraordinary, something that is supernatural. Imam is the eye that is nadhara. He looks at everything, not only on the surface. Even his eye scans minds and hearts of people. So not only he sees who is praying, he sees who is also praying sincerely. Not only he sees who is teaching and what is being taught, he also is able to see what's the intention of this person who is teaching, what he wants to achieve. So his vision, his sight is not restricted to the surface, to what we can see in a small place. So it's wide, he can see everything, but also deep. He has wide and deep vision. وَشَاهِدِكَ عَلَىٰ عِبَادِكَ. And then he is your witness in Imam, we had this discussion about the concept of witness. Based on the Quran, we know for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is always a witness who lives with the people. And on the day of judgment, Allah would bring these witnesses. لَنَنْزَعَنَّ مِنْ كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ شَهِيدًا. Allah, from every group of people, from every generation, He will bring the witness, and that witness then would offer his testimony. He says, who believed, who didn't believe, who practiced, who didn't practice. So in dunya, he is like a standard. You know what you are supposed to do. He explains the will of God. But also on the day of judgment, he would say who followed him, who didn't follow him. Al-Jahjah al-Mujahid. He is not sitting, he is not just reading, for example, Quran, or just seeing and watching people. When we say he is witness, he is an active witness. He is like a commander who is at the same time witnessing what soldiers are doing. Not that, he is there, given camera to just look at people and record. He is himself mujahid. He is in front of everyone, nearer to the risk and dangers than anyone else. And he sees who is going with him and who is betraying him. Who is pretending to be with him. And who is honest. But he is himself mujahid. Al-A'idh bik. Imam is the one who is always connected to God, puts his trust in God, and asks God for refuge. Because he knows there is no protection except from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no refuge except coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If in the whole world, we have how many people? More than 7 billion people. In the whole population of the world, the one who feels more than anyone else his poverty is Imam Mahdi. The one who understands more than anyone else his need for Allah is Imam. The one that thinks that even if for an eye blink, if I don't remember Allah, I can be destroyed, is Imam. We say, Ilahi la takilni ila nafsi ta'fata ayn, but we don't say it that much seriously. Back in our mind, we think that, even for years we can manage. At least for months we can manage. We are not that careful that in every moment we seek protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if you want to seek protection in every moment, it means that in every moment you have to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not that much remembering Him. But He is the one who is Al-A'idh bik. If there was a way to illustrate, this is of course just tashbih, kind of parable. Imam is the one who is always holding on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can say holding on to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always. Al-Abid indak. So, he is also the one who worships you and serves you, but indaka, very close to you. You remember, some of you maybe remember, we said the maximum nearness to Allah that we can achieve is to be in Allah. We can never be more than عند الله. مقربون are عند الله, not مع الله. We don't have anyone مع الله. Okay? عند الله. يا وجيها عند الله. الذين عنده. Okay? Imam is al-abid عندك. He is serving God and worshipping God, not in order to get near God. He is already near God. He is not away from God. He is close to God. Sometimes you show respect to someone from distance. Maybe you call him, there is distance of thousands of miles, you say salam. Sometimes you are near that person and show your respect and love. When we worship Allah, we are like a person that from another part of the world is showing respect. But when muqarrabun worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is encounter. They feel the presence of Allah. وَأَعِذْهُ. So first thing was idfa. The first request for protection was idfa. Dafa means to repel, to not let come. Okay? Protection. Because in Arabic we have dafa and rafa. Rafa is when something has already come. Dafa is not to let come. Okay? So, after that, we say, وَأَعِذْهُ. Please give him refuge مِنْ شَرِّ جَمِيعِ مَا خَلَقْتَ. With respect to the bad coming from all your creatures. Anything. This can be interpreted in two ways. One is to say anything bad that you have created, but I think it doesn't mean that. I think it means bad coming from any creature. Min sharri jami'a ma khalaqta. Anything which is created and has the potential of causing harm and causing trouble, we ask Allah to protect Imam. خلقت وبرأت وأنشأت وصورت. Anything whose creation has been completed is a reality and it has a chance of harming, we ask Allah to protect Imam. And we should know the dangers are not coming from one direction. واحفظه من بين يديه ومن خلفه وعن يمينه وعن شماله ومن فوقه ومن تحته. Means from all directions we ask Allah to protect Imam alayhi salam. What type of protection? Sometimes protection is not adequate. But if protection comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it would be adequate. If He gives you the shield, then no one can penetrate. Therefore we say, بِحِفْظِكَ الَّذِي لَا يَضِيعُ مَنْ حَفِظْتَهُ بِهِ. Give him such a protection that if you give to anyone, he would not lose the protection. He would be safe. So you undertake his protection. You would be his guard and protector. And then there is something very also emotional here. وَاحْفَظْ فِيهِ رَسُولَكَ وآبائه. Please, in him, protect the Prophet and his fathers. It means that he is the only one left from this holy family. Any love that you have for Rasulullah, please show it to Imam Mahdi. Any love you have for Amirul Mu'mineen, show it to Imam Mahdi. Because now, if he remains, there is something from them remaining. He is Baqiyatullah, and he is also Baqiyatu Itrat Rasulullah. Any protection that you would have loved to give to the Prophet and Imams, please give it now to him. وَاحْفَظْ فِيهِ رَسُولَكَ وَآبَائِهِ أَئِمَّتَكَ. His fathers, who were your own Imams. وَدَعَائِمَ دِينِكَ. They were pillars of your religion. So if you have, of course we know Allah has this, but this is the way we request. If you have any love for your faith, if you have any love for your Prophet and Imams, please express that love by protecting Imam Mahdi. وَاجْعَلْهُ فِي وَدِيعَتِكَ الَّتِي لَا تَضِيعَ. Please put him in a safe place that you have, that would never be lost or endangered. And then this continues, inshallah, when you get chance, you can read. I mentioned after 2-3 lines, but I cannot say all of it, but a few pages. Then we say, وَانْصُرْهُ بِنَصْرِكَ الْعَزِيزِ. Please also help him with your help, which is aziz, means no chance of being defeated. A help which brings victory. This is why in Arabic, Nasr and Intisar, come from the same. Although Nasr means assist, but when assistance is great and works, brings victory. So we say, please help Imam, a kind of help which would not leave any chance for defeat. بِالنَّصْرِكَ الْعَزِيزِ. If Allah with his Nasr al-Aziz help someone, no one can defeat him. وَأَيَّدْهُ بِجُنْدِكَ الْغَالِبِ. And affirm him and strengthen him with your army which is dominant, which is victorious. وَقَبْهِ بِقُوَّتِكَ. Inshallah, you read. My understanding is that these are not only about the time of Zuhur. This is for our time. It's not something that we say all these du'as are for when Imam comes, for example, and the battle starts. Imam needs these du'as right now, asking Allah to protect him, to help him, to support him, to make angels at his service, as we have here. أَرْدِفْهُ بِمَلَائِكَتِكَ. So, my conclusion, I don't want to speak too long, is that because Imam alayhi salam has a central position, has a key position, is the Hujjah of Allah. Therefore, Satan and those who are communicated by Satan, they will not forget this. I'm not talking about human beings who are very limited in their knowledge. Maybe they don't know who is Imam, whatever. Maybe some of them, they know. But I am talking about satanic power in the world. Shaitan and his allies. I don't think they can, even for one day, forget harming Imam. Think about it. I don't know if you have thought about this. Can Iblis know that there is Hujjah of Allah and know his role and what he is going to establish and not try to harm him? I don't think it's possible. Certainly they would do their best to harm him. And my humble understanding is that although Shaitan has no control over many things, but can trouble even in your body. Ayyub alayhi salam said, Massani ash-shaytan bin-nusbin wa-'adab. So it seems that Iblis can even cause somehow some illness for you. Magic also is there. So we shouldn't think that they sit and do nothing against Imam or against mu'mineen who are doing something good, and they just wait for explicit battle. They are such a nice people that they don't do anything, they just wait for the battle to start. And also, you shouldn't think that they would not do anything because they know this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, because first of all, life of Imam is guaranteed. Not his comfort, not his convenience, not his health. Secondly, when you go to the wrong direction, you never understand the truth. Did Pharaoh accept that Allah's will of sending Musa has to be victorious? Pharaoh didn't accept. With his ignorance, he thought he can stop that. So there can be people that although they know the plan of Allah, but they are so much deceived that they think maybe they can even stop the plan by killing Imam or at least troubling him. So we should not underestimate our duty for praying for Imam, giving sadaqah for Imam, and we should always be conscious that Imam alayhi salam is subject to many, many challenges. One challenge is this type of challenges. Of course, also what we do, that's another thing that may be a challenge for Imam. What enemies do on the ground is another. So, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect Imam alayhi salam from every aspect, every angle. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our Imam happy and pleased with us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to make us, even to the slightest, a concern for Imam, a source of pain, na'udhu billah, for Imam, a source of embarrassment for Imam. May inshallah the community of Imam all over the world would be able to reach expectation of Imam from them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the coming of Imam alayhi salam and include us among the people that are in the first rows of surrounding Imam and protecting Imam alayhi salam with all their power, with all their skills and talents. May inshallah Allah give shifa to all people who are ill and send rahmah and maghfirah to all people who have passed away, especially our parents, our ulama, who have left for us these beautiful hadiths and du'as and teachings. May Allah bless all our ulama who have passed away and protect for us our ulama who are alive, especially our maraja and leaders. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.